What's up, guys? It's your boy Jay. Welcome to Jay's World. So let's talk. You know how we do it, so let's get into it. And welcome to another edition of Jay Topics. All right, y'all. So look, let's just get into this whole Aretha Franklin biopic starring Jennifer Hudson, Marlon Wayans, who played Aretha Franklin's abusive ex-husband, and the great Forest Whitaker, who also played Aretha Franklin's dad, the Reverend C.L. Franklin. Yeah, okay, so now look, I can just tell you flat out, y'all, I did not go to see that movie, and I had no plans on going to see that movie. And the reason why I had no plans on going to see that movie, because I personally felt that it was going to be dangerous. That's right, I said dangerous. I don't know if you guys know it about this, but yeah, we are literally in the middle of a pandemic. We've been dealing with this thing for over a year, okay? And I really feel that a lot of other people, no, let me correct that. I know for a fact a lot of other people felt the same way that I did about going to the movies to see this film, okay? This movie just this past weekend, it was a flop. Yeah, it was a financial flop. And I'm sure the people over at MGM are just, they're pissed right now. But of course, if they are pissed, they can only be pissed at themselves. That movie actually came in 4th place at the box office, okay? They spent, I think 53 or $55 million to make that movie. And guess how much they actually made at the box office? $8.8 million. $55 million to make the movie, $8.8 million that they earned. I highly doubt that that's even enough to cover what they paid Jennifer Hudson just to star in that movie. But look, let me tell you something. This was MGM's fault. This really was. This is MGM's fault all the way across the board. Because I don't know if you guys remember, that movie was slated to premiere last year in December. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to have been like a Christmas Day release. You know, they had been promoting it for months prior to, okay? We were all excited about it. Even I was excited about it, even though I'm not that big of a Jennifer Hudson fan. And if we're just keeping it all the way funky, y'all, I'm not a big fan of her vocals either, you know? But I do feel that Jennifer Hudson is a great actress. She really honestly is. And I felt that she would have at least pulled off the acting aspect of Aretha Franklin. I'm not saying that Jennifer Hudson can't sing, but I just don't care for her vocals because she does all that, all that hollering and yelling, and just, I don't like her vocals. But anyway, I was still excited. You know, I was like, okay, cool, you know, and I'm gonna sit at home and I'm gonna have my popcorn with my big old screen television, and I'm gonna, you know, eat and drink and stream the movie. So they canceled the premiere. They was like, you know what? We're going to push this thing back to, I believe it was February, okay? February 2021. Okay, so now, we are now in February. Again, I'm like, hey, you know what? The Aretha Franklin flick is about to come on. I got my popcorn, got my drinks ready. You know, I'm ready to do it. And guess what? They pushed it back again. This time they said they were pushing it back until August. And here we are at August. But this is what happened with that whole situation. National Geographic actually came out with a mini-series about Aretha Franklin starring this lady, Cynthia Erivo. Oh yeah, Cynthia Erivo. Y'all remember that. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see it, and if you haven't, please check it out. It is very, very good. That little mini series lasted for, oh gosh, I'm gonna say maybe about 3 nights. I think it was like broken up into like 6 parts or something like that. So it pretty much covered Aretha Franklin's, I mean, literally from like when she was born, you know, her childhood how, promiscuous she was as a child, and how her dad, C.L. Franklin, raised her. I'll just say this. Because in my opinion, the man barely raised her. She pretty much raised herself as a child. And I'm just keeping it all the way real. Y'all really need to, I don't want to put out any spoilers, but you guys really need to check out that biopic that National Geographic put out, because it really was good. And I would even dare to say it was more of the C.L. Franklin story than it was Aretha Franklin's story. And don't get me wrong, they covered Aretha Franklin, but they really covered her dad, and they put everything out. And I can also see why the family was pretty much angry and why they did not want that version to get out, because they put out a lot of stuff that a lot of people were pretty much saying was the truth about their dad, that he was a whore, that, he chain smoked, that he drank, and he was selfish. Look, the man was human. Okay, he was human. But C.L. Franklin was no angel. Okay, I'll just say that. But anyway, I'm bringing up all of that to say this. While MGM kept playing games, kept pushing that movie back and pushing that movie back, hey, they left it wide open for National Geographic to come on in and produce their movie. Well, this time, in all of the promotion of this movie, they said, well, you know what? Theaters only. And when I saw that, I'll be honest, I honestly thought it was a typo. I was like, nah, this is not real. Are they really saying that they are only going to have this movie in the theaters only? And they're not going to offer streaming as well along with in the movies? Really, y'all? Again, we are literally in the midst of a very dangerous pandemic. You mean to tell me they really thought that people were going to leave their homes, go inside an enclosed movie theater, sit next to God knows whoever while they're coughing and hacking and talking and breathing? You got all of that stuff going on in that enclosed box. And before y'all get down in my comment section and say, well, I went to the movies and we were socially distanced. We were like 6 feet apart. It doesn't matter. You are still, I don't care how big or small the venue was, you are still in an enclosed environment. Which means even if you're 6 feet apart from the next person, all of that stuff is bouncing all around that enclosed area, and it's falling back on you. This was MGM's problem, and this was MGM's fault. And now they're looking stupid because they came into 4th place with this movie, and they lost a ton of money. MGM was very, very stubborn with this thing. And if you think about it, that's the reason why they kept pushing that movie back and back and back. They were pulling out all the big guns. You know how they normally do when they promote these movies. They have all of the actors. They're all, they do the whole circuit. They're on Good Morning America. They're on the Today Show on NBC. They even pulled Oprah out, had Jennifer Hudson being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, which is a whole nother subject unto itself. Because first of all, newsflash, Oprah Winfrey, and let me say this, y'all know I do not like Oprah Winfrey. I can't stand Oprah Winfrey. I've said it before on my channel and I'll say it again. Oprah Winfrey is the enemy of black people, but that's a whole nother subject. I don't like Oprah. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, they had Oprah Winfrey interviewing Jennifer Hudson. They were just pulling out all the stops, and none of it worked. And the reason why none of it worked is the simple reason they didn't offer streaming. They did not offer streaming. And that's why they only made $8.8 million measly dollars at the box office. Now, is $8.8 million a lot of money for regular people like me and you? Hell yeah, it is. I'd love to have $8.8 million in my bank account. But when you talk about MGM Yeah, that's measly for them. So yeah, here we are. So it should really be interesting to see in the weeks ahead how MGM is going to handle this. Are they eventually going to offer streaming? I mean, it would be smart for them to do that now, if nothing else, to at least recoup the millions upon millions of dollars that they've lost. They're going to have to offer a streaming option at this point. I really don't feel that they can afford to wait. Now, someone told me that it normally takes, like, a movie will show up, it'll play, do its little run in the movie theaters, and then 30 days later, they'll start offering like streaming, and I guess they still sell stuff on Blu-ray and maybe DVDs or something. But yeah, they're gonna have to handle this thing way differently now. They really are. So this should be interesting. Very, very interesting. Have you guys gone to the movies to see Respect? Are you going to go to the movies to see, Respect? What do you think? I mean, would you rather have stayed at home to stream this? And y'all, I was actually going to do that. Those were my plans. I even wanted to compare the two movies, but there's no way in the world I was going to put my health at risk and other people's health at risk by going into an enclosed movie theater to try to see this. It was not that serious. And yes, I am fully vaccinated, guys. I'm fully vaccinated. But guess what? Even if you're fully vaccinated, you can still catch the virus. Even if you're fully vaccinated, you can still spread the virus. This is not a get out of jail free card, y'all. This thing is serious. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? You going to see the movie or not? All right. Next, I want to talk about, hope you guys are enjoying this video. Now stay tuned for part 2 in my next video.